I guess I should say that, if you, since I just got done doing Baxter, I should say, I don't support rape at all. I don't. All the shit in there, I don't support whatsoever. No, I'm not the type of person. So, it's just, it was a phase of my life that, I'm over and done with. Better. So, on to the next phase with the kid gloves off. And this is really hard for me because I don't normally open up about my personal life as much, so this is going to be rough. You might call it cringe, but this is my life, not yours. This is stuff I've gone through and still do go through. And it's really hard sometimes. So, remember how I said I have CPTSD and whatnot, which is complex post traumatic stress disorder? It's not from rape. Everybody always wants to jump on that wagon. It's like, oh, he was raped? But that only happens to women. Like, no. It can happen to dudes too. But CPTSD can also come from years of verbal and emotional and mental abuse as well. But it wasn't always like that. Uh, the first layer of it started in 96 when I had to move away from my home on Rents Road out in Melrose, out in the country, around here in the country. Love living out there. Best place I ever grew up. And it was rough. I didn't like moving. I hated to move. And I've been in Manchester for 23 years. So that was a rough layer. My grandmother was the first one to move out, and that really took a toll on me. That hurt because she had left first and didn't take me with her, so that really hurt. Um, so yeah, we moved to Manchester in October of '96. I think that's right. Yeah, it was October '96. Um, I hated it. I hated it because back then I was, let's see, I'm 33 this year. I'm going to be 33 in the summer. So that was 23 years ago. So yeah, I was young. Didn't like this shit at all. I was mad. I was 10. I was a very pissy 10-year-old and very sad and upset. So that was the first layer. Uh, One of the mini layers came around, trying to think. I'd say freshman year when I got arrested. Fun times. Yeah, if you know me, you never knew that. Like, yeah, or you forgot. Yeah, I got arrested in freshman year. Damn. Like, what'd you do to get arrested, Oreo? What did you do that was so heinous? Friend dared me to hump a tree outside of North Carroll High School. My balls and dick out. I did it. Fuck it. I was young. I was 14. I gave no fucks. Go away, Twitter. I still give no fucks. But not enough to get arrested again, you know? Like, I'm mature now. I'm going to be 33. What the fuck am I going to get arrested for again? Um, so, yeah. I got arrested for indecent exposure. Almost went to Gateway, but didn't because Dr. Dunkelberger liked me. He was a good man. He was really good to me through the years. He really was. Out of all my principals that I've had in my school life, I had Dr. Dunkelberger. Well, no, actually, I got to go back. to elementary school. I had Mr. Bruce. I had Mr. Snook. I had, I can't remember her damn name. I had Miss Queen York in high school. There was another middle school principal I had. She was really, really nice. I can't remember her damn name. She was really cool though. Let me think. It's my off. That's better. TV's distracting me, even though I'm not watching anything. Um, yeah, I had Miss Queen York. I forget the other one's name. I don't remember. She was really cool. Um, yeah, and then I had Wetzel, I think, or Rodriguez, and then I had Dr. Dunkelberger, and they were all cool. I do regret getting arrested. I really do. Like, that was a low point in my life. Because, I didn't give a fuck about the rules at all. I had no care for rules or regulations or any of that bullshit. I was like, fuck it, I'm having fun. And to make that story bittersweet and really deep, that was the first time I ever saw my stepdad cry. I actually made him cry. And my sister was a baby at the time, and I remember that I was in the dining room downstairs, and he was holding her, rocking her, because she was crying or something. I forget exactly what, but she was having a fit or something, and he was rocking her, like, back and forth like that. And he looked at me, and what did he say? Something about how I screwed up or something, and he broke into tears. I'd never seen a grown man cry before. So, all my life I've cried a lot over different things. Different things impact me emotionally, any which way. That left me shocked because I didn't know what to do. And, I ended up crying when I came upstairs after I got expelled and arrested. But that charge disappeared when I turned 21. All I had was probation till I was 21. So I did pretty good. I stayed on the narrow path after that. I was on the straight and narrow. I did good. Graduated by the hair of my ass. How did I do it? By the hair of my ass, you ask? Fucking up to the very end. I still graduate. I walked the stage and everything. What got me in trouble? I slapped a girl's ass. That was fun. But yeah, she went and said I not only slapped her ass, but I grabbed her boob too. That was a fucking lie. I didn't touch her boob. She had no boob that was worth touching, so whatever. Graduation night was emotional because, that was a mini layer right there. Remember I said all those principals that were good to me over the years? One of them showed up. Yeah. Mr. Snook. Yeah. Good man. Told you, it's rough. Yeah, he was there to see me walk the stage. Gave me a card, and it had $20 in it. Yeah. Yep. Good fucking man. Yeah. He's the only person who's ever told me that they were proud of me for what I did. I don't hear that a lot. I really don't. A lot of people, I've never heard anybody say they're proud of me in a long time, and he was the first one to say that he was proud of me for graduating. And it's hard because when you grow up with an abusive mother who went from being physically abusive to verbally abusive, oh man, it's really hard to accept compliments and acknowledgments, of achievements in your life. It's like I fucked up to the very end, but I still walked the stage. And what blew me away was that Mr. Snook was there at the end, and he congratulated me and told me he was so proud of me for graduating, because most people in my class, and I had the largest graduating class of 2004. Most of us, most of them, we all made it, but most of them ended up dying, or they just dropped out or didn't try hard enough. Sucks. But 2004 came and went. It was rough. Also, from 2000 to 2010, there's another layer of my CPTSD. Ooh, excuse me. I might turn my light on soon. Shit. Oh well. We'll roll with it. See what happens. I had decade worth of ankle surgery. That started in 2000. So that was a rough high school year too. So I was in a cast, off and on leg cast and whatnot in a moon boot, because I had corrective ankle surgery for my cerebral palsy because I walk crooked. And, it's not something I like about myself, because it's really hard. When I try to walk straight, I still walk crooked. So it's hard. And it's not just from my weight. My weight is a factor, but not all my weight is a part of it. It's something I was born with, so I can't help that. I tried. The corrective surgery helped a little bit, but not very much. So I had 10 years of ankle surgery to help me try to walk correct. It helped a little bit. Got out of school. I gained weight. I had a job. I ended up having to quit the job because I needed more ankle surgery. So I haven't worked in like 15 years. No, 16 years. 2003 was the last time I worked. So it's been rough. But I'm on disability, so I have income to help me pay my bills and whatnot. So 2010, brought up my fiance at the time. Girlfriend then turned into fiance. And, we worked out for about 23 months. Just shy of 2 years. It's awesome. It is getting darker. I don't know. It sucked so bad because I thought we would last, but I took her for granted. She took me for granted. Nothing really worked out too well. And it was just rough. And then throw on top of that my bitch mother, who doesn't accept any kind of criticism on her part, making it harder to, maintain the shit. It's annoying. She's a narcissistic sociopath who gaslights, by the way. If you've dealt with that shit, you know where I'm coming from. It was never easy. Never, ever easy. I could never be enough for her. I was never a good enough kid. She's even called me a mistake child. And that brings me to the big part of my CPTSD. Age 25. That was a rough year. But it gets rougher after that, so you know how it goes. So that was 2011. Yeah. I found out that I have a biological black father. Like, yeah, I know you're looking at it like, he's full of shit. He ain't, but he ain't half black. No, he's lying. He's just saying it. No, motherfucker, I am half black. And for all my life, I told everybody I was mixed because, I'd look at different black actors and whatnot and see myself. I'd see different aspects of me in them. So it rubbed off, and I was like, yeah, I'm mixed. I share their different traits and whatnot. And I didn't know that I actually had a black father because I only had two stepfathers at the time. So, let me do this. There we go. I turned the brightness up. Woo-hoo. So, I couldn't get anything out of her about him at all. My mother would not give me a fucking inch on it. Pissed me off, and it really upset me. So I ended up having to go to the courthouse. Of all places, the fucking courthouse, to find out about this dude. And come to find out, not only was he my father by 99.02% match in blood testing, he also fought for me in custody in the beginning. And the last time he saw me, I was 14 months old. Yeah. Go away. Yeah. So that was rough. That really, it was so surreal sitting in that room, going through paperwork, and I literally said, go the fuck away. Damn, these notifications. I literally said, this is just like a movie. And it blew me away because it felt like a movie. Like, it was that crazy. I didn't expect that. It was nuts. So, it was a mess. It really, like, everything I knew at that point, everything I knew about my core identity up to that point, just shattered. It was crazy. It threw me for a loop. I mean, you're talking fucking decade, like almost a decade and a half of building my identity up. And, I went through shit before that, with doing role play and whatnot. Yeah, I used to do online role play too. Never again. That was a rough part of my life too. Because that was a lot of psychological shit and just too much to go into, honestly. I wrote all about it. You can find that on Wattpad as well. That was a rough part. That was from 2006, RP and all that. But 2011, that was hard. Go away. God damn. Notifications. Like shit. So, finding out about my father, who is Charles Edward Jones III. I don't know. All I know is he's in Baltimore somewhere. I wanted to meet him, but I never got the courage up to do it. And the sadder part about it, I don't even know what he looks like. Like, I'm curious as to what my bio father looks like, and I'm too scared to go to the police station and look him up, So whatever. Hang on a second. I need to turn my light on. Oof. Whoa. Oh boy. Ouch. That hurt. There we go. All right. We got a light on. Oof. Ouch. 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 Cramp. These things happen. Okay. Better. Holy hell, dude. Alright, there. I had to turn the brightness back down. So, I learned about my father in 2011. And it was rough. It just was really rough for a while. And it took me, how many years did, I think it took me about 1.5 years to get my shit back in order. Because my shit was out of sorts after that. Like, ugh, just fucking rough. And then the verbal and emotional abuse continued. My mother, it sucked. Like, nothing says I love you from your mother when she says no one wants a disgusting fat slob like you. That's my mother. To me. That's what she said to me. She would say shit like that. She would say that I'm worthless, I'm useless, I'm no good. Just endless, just berating and insulting and making digs at me, and it's damaged me so bad that I have narcissistic abuse syndrome because of it. I hate it. I don't trust anybody. I don't uh I don't trust anybody at all. I barely trust my friends. And that's like tiny little bit of trust because it's broken me so badly. Like damn, it sucks. um One thing that didn't affect my that didn't uh shit contribute to my CPTSD was losing relatives. That didn't affect me. Losing my uncle, my grandfather, and my great grandmother. That didn't affect me, honestly. That didn't really, upset me as much. Losing my uncle was a shock because that just blew everybody away. Um, yeah, my grandfather in the same year, too. That was a shock. Well, that was coming, but we didn't know when. Um, and then I lost my great grandmother in 2014, but I have to back up a year to 2013 with death. It's going to be hard. This is where the CPTSD really got bad. This was the second layer that really made it worse and pretty much cemented it for a long time. I had a best friend. Her name was Crystal. And we were besties for 6 years and 25 days. It was rough. We were on and on. We were inseparable motherfuckers, literally. We were cancer twins as well. Same birthday, July 5th, 13 years apart. So that was nice. We had the same birthday, and in sheer irony, we never spent our birthdays together. Never got to spend them together. She would move away so much, and then she'd come back, or she'd disappear, or she got locked up, or whatever. And, the last time I saw her was 2010 when I was with my fiance at the time, and then she disappeared for another 3 years. And by happenstance, by sheer chance, I was sitting outside in 2013 during the summer, and she literally drove up the street, and I yelled at her, and she pulled in the driveway, and I hadn't seen her in 3 years, so it was really emotional. It's like I hate it. It's like I was so happy to have her back in my life again. I felt so good. She was coming off of She was sober. She was clean and sober. Um, what else? Oh, her ex-boyfriend was locked up for hitting her. Um, what else? And she was doing good. She's doing really good. And I told her, I was like, me and you should have dated from the get-go, and none of this shit would have happened. She's like, yeah, you're right. But she didn't want to jeopardize our friendship. And I get that. I get that sometimes. But at the same time, it, pissed me off. It's saying, like, why would it jeopardize our friendship? Like, me and you get along really fucking well. And I don't see why that's an issue. At the time, I didn't understand it because I was still young, and shit. It's young in the mind, not the body, the mind. I hadn't matured full like I have now. That was 9 years ago. No, 6 years ago. So I was 27 at the time. I don't know why I thought 24. So the best day we had together was August 30th, 2013. I had just gotten my SSI check-in for the month, and I was gonna do my shopping and whatnot. So I decided to treat her and her daughter to a small shopping spree of stuff they needed for their apartment. So I got her toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, basics, water, razors, all that. And Crystal was the type that leaves a lasting impression on you. If you know who I'm talking about, you know exactly where I'm going with it. She leaves a lasting impression. And one of her lasting impressions on me was about the razors. Now, you're probably thinking I'm going to talk about suicide and shit. Like, no, not that type. No. With her and the razors, it was about, she looked at him and she said, she's like, Kev, literally, he's like, you just don't get it. You just don't understand how important razors are to a woman, especially me and whatnot. And I didn't get that at the time. I didn't understand. I was like, yeah, of course I understand. The common response, oh, I totally understand. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, no, I didn't understand. Now I do. Because she had been homeless once or twice. So she went without a lot of stuff for a while. And it was... Ooh, damn, that was deep. It was rough for her and her daughter. I mean, living in a shelter and shit. And doing whatever, just rough. So that day was a very happy day. I took them shopping. I took them to Pizza Hut, and we had a good time. And I finally got my kiss out of her. That's the one thing I wanted out of her for so many years. I finally got to kiss her, and that was a very deep. That was a very deep moment for us. It's frozen in time, and it can't be, taken away and shit. I missed that day. The day I hate the most is September 13th. Friday the 13th, 2013. Day before that, 12th, me and her were texting and whatnot, and she said we had to stop, being romantic towards each other and whatnot. And I was like, why? Because, me, I didn't handle rejection too well. Yeah, it was bad. It was really fucking bad. I went off on her. Idiot. I told her that, I accused her of using again and taking pills or whatever and drinking and idiot. And I regret that. I regret that text fight. That was our first and ever fight we ever had. Yeah. We never ever had a fight. 6 years and 25 days, never had a fight, and we had a fight that one day. Damn, it was rough, and it hurt with her telling me, we had to stop because that really, because I was like, why? She's like, well, he's my husband. I'm like, why are you gonna go back to somebody who's abusing you when you got me, who's doing good for you and helping you get better, and all that good shit. And she's like, you just don't understand. And I didn't understand. I really didn't. It really pissed me off and it hurt my feelings. And, I went off on her, and I really wished I hadn't gone off on her. Because I honestly think that, she. Oof, hang on. That's better. Back. I honestly think that she overdosed on pills because of our argument, and I blame her. No, I blame myself for that shit. It really hurts because that Friday, uh, her daughter posted on Facebook. I'm not gonna say her name because no. Her daughter posted on Facebook that she was in the hospital in a coma. And what I didn't know, I'm not going to go into all the details because it's really deep and really personal for her daughter anyway. I'm not going to go into that. But for me, it was rough. People over at the church. I handled hospitals really well sometimes. My grandmother had been in the hospital many times for, heart stuff and just being sick, pneumonia, all that. And, I could handle that. It was fine. It hurt, but, she always pulled through. Crystal hooked up to a ventilator and tubes and all that. That hurt. I'd never experienced pain like that before. No, never did. I mean, I lost my dog 12 years ago in 2007, but that was minor. That wasn't impactful as Crystal, because me and her had a bond.